I mean, I would say this all the time, but especially now. I mean, it's like anytime you're getting interest from a college coach, you need to take that seriously.
No
I
doubt.
don't think prospects realize how how high level college basketball is at every level, be it Division II, be it junior college, be it Division I, small, low, mid, high. Like I don't think a lot of times they realize, and like a coach showing interest in you, no matter the level, like you should take that very seriously. And I think that recruits and parents need to understand that they're not competing against guys in their city, they're not competing against guys in their state, and they're not even just competing against guys nationally. They're competing against guys internationally. I mean, I have a kid from Guyana, a kid from Panama, a kid from Kenya. I got a kid from California, two from South Carolina, one from Florida. Like it's wherever. And for me, one of the things that's hard for me as a coach, and I'll put up with it for a little bit in the recruiting process, like not being good in communicating back and things like that. But because a lot of times I call it somewhat of a like an innocent ignorance. You know what I mean? Just maybe not understanding the process and things like that. And so as a coach, we put up with it, for a little bit, but then once we're able to, educate you and, tell you about all the things that we can do, be it junior college, be it a Division II program or whatever, you need to start taking that stuff serious. And, because it says a lot to me. You're always, you're always auditioning, always. And so everything matters when it comes to, recruiting. And it's like, look, scholarships are hard to get. Like, I don't care what anybody says, like they're hard to get. And so when you have schools that, are interested in doing that, you need to take it very, very seriously. And, you have to, we preach to our guys all the time, control what you can control. And you can't control that there's no AAU period in the spring. But you know what? You can control how good of conditioning you are in September for whenever coaches can come watch you play, and you can control, how tight your shooting form is when they come in September, and all of these things. And so I would just say take a deep breath, you know what I mean, and control what you can control, and the stuff that you can't control, like don't lose sleep over it, you know what I mean, because at the end of the day, it's got to be bigger than you. Like I said, for me, I trust that, somebody's in control that's a heck of a lot, knows a heck of a lot more than I do. And so, you trust in that and control what you can control and do what you're supposed to do every single day. And
I say it to the prospects in high school is that, you really got to do your diligence and find the right fit and go where you're needed, not where you want to be at. And you can get a feel from that based on who's recruiting you and how they're recruiting you. They're calling you every day. They're checking in on you. They're developing relationships with who's around you. That's who really wants you. Now, if you're getting called once a week or they forget about you and you reach out to them, that's who maybe they just kind of want you. So, and then I think the more want situations you get into, or I got to go to the highest level, or I like what they can do for me that's not basketball wise, I think that's where you get kids who realize they make a wrong decision and want to go somewhere else. If you can hoop and you love to hoop, they're going to find you. If your goal is to be a professional basketball player, be an NBA player, be a national player, you can go to Denver, you go to Panola, you can go to Timbuktu. If you can play, they will find you and you'll have some success. So it's not always about going to the highest level for the exposure. It's about going where you can be the best version of yourself, and it's about finding the right fit. If you be humble, you work hard, you're a good person, I think the good things will follow you for sure. And that's what we got to preach to these kids, to these student athletes, that, hey, during this time, get better. Don't just sit around and wallow and be sorry about what's going on or be pissed off at the world because you can't play. Get better, and then when your time comes, you're going to rise to the occasion.
I would just say, just come in, work as hard as you can, and it's going to be a lot of competition, and you got to be ready to fight every day.
But one thing I would want to highlight is if you go to practice every day and you treat it as a game, that you may not be liked among your teammates in practice, but when that game happens, you'll just be ready for it because you've prepared that way forever. And if you just don't have a switch between the two, you're going to make it, because it extends to off the court too. If you're always doing things at your maximum, you're never going to know what your bottom is. So if you just keep pushing, you're going to get to where you want to be.
I would just say for a younger kid, just dream big, and the big thing is just set goals and just try to keep working towards those goals. And I mean, everyone knows in life there's going to be a lot of adversity, so just being able to persevere through that adversity and just keep working hard, understanding that it might not be worth it right now, but if I just keep going, it's going to pay off in the end.
I like to take a different approach and go from like the recruiting process and getting noticed. Don't think about it too much, because I feel like if you're going to get noticed, I mean, it could be hard to get noticed by coaches and recruiters and like rankers and stuff, but don't think about it too much, because if you deserve it, eventually it'll come around.
You know, allow the past to impact your present as you prepare for the future.
I start off with rest is a weapon. Coach Doug and a lot of coaching staff tell us in the tournament that we need to go to sleep, because that rest, whoever wakes up first, with the most energy is probably going to win the game. And I say that working hard is always a good thing. If you work hard at everything you do, then you'll be successful most likely.
I would tell them to work hard and don't quit. Go all the way through it. Just trust the process. And, another thing is make sure you're on top of your work. Stay on top of your grades and everything, because that plays a big role. Without class, if you're not passing, you can't play. So you got to take care of business in the classroom first. I say that's a major part of all of this. And, just working hard, and it'll all pay off in the end.
So the advice I would give them is just to stay focused. Don't get sidetracked by other stuff that's going on around you. So one other thing is what Kobe said, just doing your work in the class, make sure your grades right, make sure your GPA right, and all that stuff. There's going to come a time where coaches really look at that and they will decide if you go to college. So that's probably the only two things I would give them.
And be the best person you can be. Some people might be better than you, but if they ain't got the right mindset and if they're not working as hard as you, then you eventually pass them up.
Just use this right here as a learning tool, that you can't take nothing for granted. Every day is different, man. So you just got to seize the moment, seize the day, get the most out of each day you can, because next day is not promised.
They don't pay attention to politics and rankings. Don't let that stuff get in your head. I feel like what's already set in stone is going to happen. They already know who going to be All-Americans and stuff like that. I feel like you just got to – I know from my perspective, they used to kind of bug me, because I'm like, why can I be it? But it's deeper than just basketball. It's just it's a lot of stuff that goes into it. So I would say don't worry about that. Just hoop, keep working, and everything going to take care of itself, because like I said before, plenty of those dudes fall out of place. And because, the rankings ain't real. None of it's real. It's all political. It's all just, we want this guy, so they going to push it. So I would say just keep hooping.
The same thing, just keep working hard and always just focus on, of course, support your friends and everything, but, never focus on the next man's hand. Always focus on you and your race, what you got going on. Just my people tell me, don't look at the next man's hand because you can't play his cards. You know what I'm saying? So just focus on what you got going on, because trust me, my friends, I got friends that went one and done. I got friends that went straight overseas and then to the league, but I ain't worried about them. I support them. You know what I'm saying? I got love for them. But, I'm just focused on me and my race. If it takes me 4 years of college and in the league, that's what it takes. If it take you to go overseas, play for a couple years, then go to the league, that's what it takes. But, at the end of the day, I tell my friends all the time, we all going to be at that same finish line, the NBA, So I don't know when I'm going to get there, but when I get there, I'm going to embrace it. I'm going to love it.
Just for, advice for people who, aren't really getting through right now, it's going to come. Don't get discouraged. Don't get down on yourself just because you're not getting the certain looks right now. Just keep doing what you're good at, and they're going to come around.
I think mine's going to be outside of basketball, but just love those people that are around you. Tell everybody that's around you that you love them more, because, especially in this epidemic right now, you never know when somebody's going to be taken away from you. So it could be anybody at any given time. So just tell the people that you love them every day, and make them feel loved by your actions.
Earlier, try your best to take care of your body as best as possible. And another thing, don't listen to all the talk, like the media and stuff. It's all just a distraction. So just keep working and stay humble.
I would say, find out what your goal is and what you want to do, and then never give up. You cannot give up because you will face adversity. It's going to happen. It happens to everybody. And so when adversity hits, it's kind of like, what are you going to do? You're not going to, quitting is never an option. So either you're going to fight through or you're going to find your way around it no matter what. So just stay in your prayers, stay humble, and you'll get through adversity, and just never quit. Quitting's never an option.
Wow.
Wise words. Wise words. That's good.
Don't ask anyone a question that has not been where you're trying to go. If talk to the people that's been there, that's experienced college, that's experienced the recruiting process. If your coach at your high school, if you're his first recruited player, maybe seek a little advice outside of that. But just ask somebody that's been through the process, and it's really not that complicated. If you can't help our team, we're not going to recruit you. It's that simple. No, it's that simple. You got to make it. It's not all about how many points you score. Can you help our team win? It might be rebounding. You might be a great defender. You might be a great shooter. Be good at something that can help a team win, and you're going to get recruited by somebody.
Well, I think the first thing, and it's so obvious, is it's such a different environment. It's the first time for a young man or young woman to be away from home and to be out on their own. Some absolutely have the structure of in the business-like approach to be able to provide and keep that structure in the college level. Some absolutely start drowning in the freedom that they now have. And that's part of our evaluation process as well, but it's still going to be an adjustment, knowing that it's not class from 8 o'clock to 3 o'clock. You have classes at different times, and then it's managing those appointments. And one of the number one things that is a non-negotiable in our program is being on time and on every single thing that you're asked to do. And that can be a big thing. But I think then adjusting to the rigors of both the academics, classes are tougher, and then, of course, the basketball. And with the basketball, you can talk about the speed of the game and the strength and everything else. But I think what's important for freshmen or even junior college transfers to remember is it's difficult and challenging to be the first time in a program. There's a lot to learn, not just learning what the head coach expects or learning the style and the scheme that we're playing with, but learn how to play with other people, learning their games. It takes some time. And with that may come adjusting to a different role. Every single guy in our program was really the best player on their high school team or their AU program. And we're only going to have one leading scorer, one leading rebounder, and it's and then how to keep growing a role and how to keep improving while balancing everything that goes on to being a college student athlete. But really got to understand that it's the young man that's got to live in the shoes on that campus. And sometimes even in a young man, they'll make a decision for someone else or for this or for that because they think that this will be better or this will be more well received. You got to really look to see, how do I envision myself on this campus? How do I envision myself with the coaches? I think you need to look for, is this the coaching staff? Is this the school that I'm willing to go through adversity with? Because it's not going to be all sunshine and rainbows. I mean, there's going to be tough times, and you got to be able to understand that. And because as coaches, we're going to push and prod and tell the truth and try to help people become their very, very best. And that type of growth is not in a straight line up an escalator. It is peaks and valleys, and that's what growth is all about. So I just think the superficial things of what kind of shoes do we wear, or what type of jerseys, or what color, or can I wear my number, in my freshman year, like there's, those things are nice, and there's a certain level of importance and maybe comfort that comes along with this. But I'm a firm believer always that people and who you associate yourself with and the type of relationships you have and the type of love and honesty that you can expect in a certain environment, that's more important than any other thing in this entire world.